And welcome live to the LV Home Experts Radio Show. Unfortunately, we had some technical difficulties. I don't know what the hell happened, but
difficult technically.
I don't know what the hell's going on, but we are back. So here's the thing. If this is your first time tuning into this channel, my name is Chakits Kruksawat. I'm a licensed real estate agent out here in Las Vegas, Nevada. This is the only show, the LV Home Experts Radio Show, where we talk about real estate and financing. So we got a very special guest today, Billy Harvey with Lennar. He is a sales rep, and also my man, Dan French with Guarantee Rate. He is a lender, part-time real estate agent, or sometimes real estate agent.
Can I do this?
If you want to. I got it. I caught it.
Yeah, that's so like, oh my God, like who does that? Like, well, that's me right there.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to start using that. Yeah. So there's a lot of going on right now in the Las Vegas housing market. It's very, I don't know. I've never seen a market like this. I've been doing this now for 10 years, going on 11 years. And with the feds raising rates, the dynamics of the real estate market has changed dramatically. Okay. There's a lot that's going on. We're going to talk about resale homes, brand new homes. We're going to find out from Billy what's going on that side. We're going to talk to Dan regarding, financing, refinancing, investment properties. I mean, this is like a 180 for me. We talked about this earlier when there was no audio. Basically, had about, I would say, 50-something escrows, right? 30% of them fell out of escrow, or the buyers just, I'm not buying anymore, just due to the fact that interest rates have gone up so dramatically where their payments are up and their debt to income ratio is not there. And it's affecting a lot of people. But the crazy thing about it is the housing market is still going up. I don't understand this. I don't even know what's going on. And that's why I want to bring you guys on today. Maybe you guys can, help me walk me through it and everybody else out there and what's going on, possibly give your opinion. I mean, what is it that you guys are seeing out in the marketplace?
Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, it's still a strong market. The supply is definitely a little short. So the demand is still high for homes. We're still seeing just as many, Lennar calls them self tours. That's a buyer that goes out and tours the home without a salesperson.
Yeah.
Which is a great option with our company, but
I don't like that though.
You don't like it?
No, you know why? And it's okay to interrupt each other.
Yeah,
this ain't a formal podcast. We're just a bunch of homies hanging out at this point. Only reason why I'm telling you this is because if I'm working with the buyer and I was actually the procuring cause and they happen to call, now they could be assigned to a different agent in your office. And that loses the opportunity for you too as well. But I mean, can an agent still represent that person though?
Yeah, as long as they tell it, and when you sign up for the self-tour as well, there's a spot on there where you can put, it asks you, do you have a realtor? Please include their name. Even if they, forget or don't see that, we can still get you assigned as long as we know up front, within a day or two.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Remember that, guys, now, okay? You guys call, make sure to put my name. Thank you. All right, now what were you saying?
Yeah, I was just saying that we're still seeing the traffic that we had before rates started, climbing. I don't know what it was, maybe 45, 60 days ago they started, going up substantially. Yeah. We're still seeing just as many traffic. Like you said, we did go through the last month of cancellations.
Yeah.
We've seen a big cancellation rate. We've kind of worked our way through those though, and our inventory is still low. I think we only have maybe 60 homes that can close by the end of June right now throughout all 40 communities that we have.
Now you mentioned earlier before the show that you had probably like 20 files falling out or something like that?
Yeah, just 20 of my own sales that have fallen out this quarter.
Ooh, that stung, didn't it?
Yeah, just a little bit.
So what's the actual cause for that?
Several different. I mean, some people have lost money in the stock market, so they now don't have that extra money that they once had that they're using towards their purchase. Like you said, some don't qualify because their debt to income ratios now don't line up. But I'd say the majority just were a little fearful of the market, what's going to happen. They didn't like the interest rate, and they just bailed and walked away from 10,000, deposit, some more. So
now I do apologize, guys. Somebody just put in the comments, introduce the guests. Did I not introduce you, Billy? Billy Harvey?
Yeah, I thought so.
I thought I did. You know what? I don't remember because we did this 3 times.
No, it's clickbait. That was the previous video.
So we got Billy Harvey with Lennar. He is actually a sales rep. And also we got Dan French with Guarantee Rate. That's right. So Dan, what's going on with you on the financing side? What are you seeing based upon, interest rates going up?
I see that people are just not wanting to do anything. If you need a house, though, you're going to go buy a house. I don't think it really matters what the rate is to a point, right? Yeah. There's options now, 6 months, 12 months to lock your rate.
Yeah.
We talk about it. And I think that, you look at the secondary home sector, investment properties. A lot of people need secondary homes. And we just got a memo the other day that said, for my company, I think this is going to start to become universal across a lot of companies, is that the pricing went so quick, so fast on rates and jumped, I don't know, roughly 2 points in a short window, a couple of months, that, they're not going to be pricing out second homes with 10% down anymore. It's going to be, you have to put 20% down. And investment properties, it's off sheet pricing.
So on a secondary home, you can no longer put down 10%. It's required for 20%?
For the time being. And look.
Why are banks doing that? Is it because they're getting paranoid?
Well, it's not banks.
Okay.
Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac are saying, look, we're going to raise the loan level pricing adjustments on these loans.
Yeah.
And so if they do that, it's deterring them from actually saying, hey, I'm going to get a secondary home or an investment property to hold on to that.
Yeah.
Because we sell this to Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, right? A lot of these banks do. So if they're not taking those loans, we're stuck with them. That, guess what? If you're correspondent lender, your warehouse lines of money start to, deplete. Now you have no money to lend, and now you're stuck with those secondary and investment properties. What it tells me is that as consumer confidence goes,
yeah,
so does, lending, and so does other things beyond that. And so now it's telling me that, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac may not want to hold onto secondary and investment properties because it's too high of a risk right now.
Well, according to the DJ, he says that Navy Federal Credit Union still allows 15% down on a secondary home. So basically, depending on which bank you go to, then that's what it sounds like.
It's like this. Like I said, each investor is different. The risk threshold, depending on what you're getting into, potentially it's going to be pushed out where we don't do like 15. Certain banks don't do 15 then 20. Yeah. You can always check it out. The bottom line, though, is the loan level adjustments that's being put from Fannie and Freddie. It doesn't matter about Navy Federal. Great, they could do that. They're willing to take the risk. The adjustments are still there, and they're put in place because Fannie and Freddie does not want to take on a bunch of secondary and investment properties. That's the bottom line. Doesn't matter what bank it is. We all sell to the same banks.
Yeah.
For the most part, unless you're a portfolio lender and you hold on to the rate itself, and it's a different story. But if you're following Fannie Freddie guidelines, which I'm going to say 95% do, you're going to be under that umbrella.
This is kind of a scary market right now. Like, I don't even know what to do. Should I buy properties? Should I sell properties? And it's just like inflation is running rampant to the point where it's like, where do you even put my money? Like, what do I do at this point? It's almost like people are just kind of sitting tight and just kind of figuring out what to do, right? Because inflation is running rapid.
Well, as consumer confidence goes, so does an economy.
Yeah.
Right. If you feel that you go and you work and you get a paycheck and you're confident you're going to keep a job, which a lot of people do, they are going to get paid, then they're going to go buy things. Now, with the perfect storm of rising rates, housing shortage, right? Home prices are, have gone up as all-time highs. You got 40-year inflation highs. Why would somebody want to go buy a house today? You got 76% of people saying that it's not a good time to buy a home.
Yeah, Billy, why would somebody buy a Lennar home?
Why would they?
Yeah.
Well, besides
we threw him right on the spot.
Yeah. Besides getting to spend time with you and then me, no. I feel like historically the rates, even though they're higher than they were, 2, 3, 4 months ago,
a
year ago, they're still historically pretty low. I mean, until you get over 6, I feel like that's kind of the
threshold.
And Lennar specifically, we have programs for like our quick move-ins. So anything that can close by the end of July, you can still get a rate close to like 4.875.
Yeah, you know what I'm starting to see too is a lot of these builders are now making adjustments as far as with their lenders. And lenders, now they're doing like 6 months, 9 months, even a year lock in. So that way that consumer feels
well, they have to.
Yeah.
They have to. And look, as the rate goes too, like you look at the rates going up, I don't think 6% is bad. I mean, it's not what we saw.
Well, the problem is that we're so used to it. That's the problem.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That the psychological effect it has on people that with rates going up that quick, you're at 6%. Now, you combine that with home prices at all-time highs, and then you have prices of goods and things going up around you. There's a lot of, people just are retracting. They don't want to see. They're not in it right now to say, unless I have to buy a home. I think it's a psychological thing for the rates, though, because would rates be as bad as they are? Would people have that big of an effect on them? Yeah, it's gone up a lot. But if, let's say, home prices were still at 300, 350,000, would it really be that detrimental to these people? Probably not, right? And, furthermore, I think you look at a lot of the things that's going on with the economy as a whole. I feel like our economy here in Las Vegas is going to continue to thrive. And you're going to continue to see the people come here. And look, most of our business is out-of-state buyers. People, if wage earnings here in Las Vegas will go as far as, keeping pace with inflation, then I think we're going to continue to have a good market here. But I think that those things are contributing to why people are not buying right now, and that's why it's a 180.
Andrew asks, what is interest rates right now, Dan?
Well, it depends. You can say, obviously, on a secondary investment property, you're looking at, higher 5s. If you're looking at a primary residence, you're probably looking at low to mid 5s.
Oh, that's actually not that bad still.
Still not good, though, compared to what it was.
Well, exactly. And I think people are kind of like stuck on that, 3.5%. But, there was an article that I was looking at. They were saying that the United States is short about 5 million homes. So the question is, if people stop buying, right, they got to rent. They got to go somewhere.
Well, here's a good analogy to look at. So, on average, we had a million homes to sell, right? On an average basis. Right now, I think we were looking at like per month, right? They were like at 350,000 homes available to sell across the country. This is not just in Las Vegas.
Yeah. Well, it better not be.
So, going into 2023, we're going to continue to have this shortage. Now, what I've seen and what I've read on just articles that I've seen is that there is an uptick in the amount of inventory that keeps going. In Vegas, it's been pretty steady, right? We've always had 2,000 to 2,500 homes on the market, roughly, something like that, right? So you look at, as a country, we're going up. I think in Las Vegas, we've been pretty, stayed the same, and there's not been much adjustment.
So BK asks, I heard Lennar will start doing rental properties. Is this true, Billy?
They haven't in Vegas yet, but they have.
What is that all about?
I don't. You know what? I know a little bit about it, but since we haven't incorporated it into the Vegas market yet, they're building homes to rent in other divisions right now.
Oh, really? That is interesting.
Are they doing that because they want primary buyers to purchase these homes? There's a lot of builders that are not offering loans or anything, or even purchasing homes for secondary and investment properties, even if it's a cash. Is that happening there?
You know what? To be honest, I don't know much about that, that part of the company. But
what's crazy is there was a couple articles that I've seen where you have like these Fortune 500 companies. They're literally buying hundreds and hundreds of homes, and even like communities. Like they'll have deals with builders. Mm-hmm. And there's just one recently. I think it was like in Florida. They literally just bought the whole community, dude.
Well, it's crazy. What my thing is builders are looking at primary, but is second, like the rates secondary for us. It's starting to push these people out. I was just getting news that some of the builders, I'm not saying Lennar, they're just not taking in secondary and investment properties. Like you can't go down there and say, I'm going to buy an investment property from a builder just because they would rather sell it to somebody that's a primary residence holder, right? I mean, I don't know.
There's a few builders out there that that
I've heard that before.
Investors for a while.
Even like some of the HOA communities, like you can buy them, but you're not allowed to rent it out. So that kind of pushes
Lennar, we still take vacation homeowners.
Yeah, I mean, money's money.
Well, Lennar is actually really good. Like I've talked with Billy a lot about stuff, and I mean, there's the stuff he can do is pretty amazing. So
talking about that, I recently did a couple of videos with Lennar, right? There were the townhomes up in Summerlin, right? Highline, and Highline 2 as well, right? I think there was a total of maybe 8 videos. I think there's 8 condos, right? Total?
We have.
Or more than that, but I was only able to get into 8 of them. So check that out on the channel.
I'm still waiting for you to parachute into a house.
It's going to be a while.
Yes, he's going to have a GoPro and he's going to parachute in the back of the house. Guys, I'm going to see this $1 million home today.
I noticed the condos out in Summerlin are getting pretty damn pricey. I mean, we're talking about like $550, man. Just getting right into it.
That's the starting price point, right? I mean, how many homes out there?
And that's for a townhome, dude. That's not even a house.
Yeah, and I mean that are new.
Yeah.
Single family residence. Would you say 600? That's the starting point right now. That's not including lot premium. That's not including.
Yeah, unless you're getting like a 0 lot line courtyard single family, you're gonna be at 600. Yeah.
So for Lennar, where's like the desirable location right now? Like, where are you seeing most of the sales? Is it out in the northwest, south?
Yeah, there's quite a few. Sky Canyon. We have a community out there, Belterra. They're still in the high 4s, mid 4s on the smallest homes.
So it's 500,000. Is this a house or condo townhome?
It's a home, yeah.
Okay, well that's actually a pretty good deal still.
Yeah, I mean, look, they're out there, but they're going quick. And what about like standing inventory, right? Like a spec home or standing inventory is almost done.
Yeah.
Or maybe they had a person fall out. What happens with those homes?
And those are the ones I'd say, in today's market, it would be a great deal if you can get one of those, like one of my 20 that canceled, right? They're all going to close in June, July, and we can offer like where we pay like 1 year HOA.
Really?
We're even offering 2-1 buy downs where like first year 2.99, second year 3.99, and then you're fixed at 4.99.
You know what's crazy is I noticed this in the marketplace. Homes that are around like 750 and below, a lot of these sellers, right, because they know what's going on with the marketplace, they are pricing it high. Like all the listings I'm taking, right, I explained to the seller, like, yo, I can't sell it for this price, but they want to sell, but they want more than what the property's worth, and they're putting it on the market. However, what I'm starting to see is a price reduction on these homes, right? They're trying to get a lot more than the value of the home. Some of the homes will get more, right, depending on the price point and the location. But 750 and below, I'm starting to see a price drop, and things are kind of like slowing down in that sector. However, when you hit the like 1.5 million, people are just buying this stuff cash, and they're selling pretty damn fast. I can't believe it.
Is it equity? Like, where's the money coming from, would you say?
Well, I mean, it's all cash deal, but you can tell like this money's not from here. This money's from somewhere else.
Another country?
No. Like California, from the East Coast.
But what I'm saying is, are they taking the money from the equity they built in their homes?
That, I mean, I don't know.
Combining it maybe with the nest, something they have saved up, and then just saying, hey, I'm all, going to throw it down.
I don't get into people's financing, so I don't know. But what I'm saying is people are buying this stuff cash. And these are like $1.5, $2 million homes. And I'm like, this is insane. But also depending on like what tier of the price point. Because like stuff, I'm telling you, like stuff around like the 500, 600, 700 range, it seems like the sellers want way more than what it's worth. Like they're pricing it like, if you know it's only worth 550, they want like 625, right? And they're like, just throw it on the market. Like that is starting to slow down. People are starting to figure out like, hey, I can't get way more than what I thought I could.
Well, the market's definitely softened.
And that compensating factor too is with interest rates, right? That's slowing down the buyers.
Yeah.
Because buyers are like, dude, I'm not paying that much.
Contingency sales.
Okay? I don't get too much contingency sales.
Well, you're going to start maybe seeing it more. Because you got a lot of people with equity. Contingent. I know builders don't typically take contingent. And so that's where the money's coming from typically. I mean, you got money that you're putting down, but if you want to put down 20%, you want to be a little bit more than the next person. Not everybody's got, $300,000-$400,000 saved up. They're taking that equity out of that house and saying, look, I'm making an offer. Then you got somebody behind them making an offer that they have to sell their house to buy that house. And then it's just and
you know what's crazy is before with these new homes, they weren't giving out incentives. Now, real estate agents are getting incentives. Those are starting to come back, right?
Yeah.
And also they're giving the buyers incentives. It's crazy. Like I literally had a builder reach out to me and say, hey, we got this property. Can you promote it? With all the specs and all that stuff. And this is a really nice floor plan, by the way. And I just released this video a couple days ago. All right. It was like a live video. And it was priced at $770,000. They literally dropped it $70,000 because they're trying to liquidate it and they're just trying to move it fast at this point. But the strange thing, talked about $1 million homes and above, Joey, our agent, had one of the clients went over to Summerlin, and the lot premium for this luxury home, right, because we're building, is $200,000. We bid $280,000, right, and this is what I was told. We bid $280,000, and on the upgrade options, because this is how you do the bidding, right, with this builder, we agreed to do $400,000 in upgrades. We literally lost the deal and asked the agent, what did that lot sell for? That lot sold for $380,000. Starting price was only at $200,000. We offered $280,000. They came in at $380,000. That is amazing. So what I'm saying is that, it's really case by case, depending on the location, the price point, right? Like I got a property right now, and it's hurting me right now. 525 in the Southwest, around 1,700 square feet, 3 bedrooms. The backyard is completely done. Beautiful home right next to the park, gated community. I know I can sell it for 525, but we got solar panels on it. It's killing me right now. So I feel like the market has shifted. It's not as easy like it was. Like you could just take a listing, put it on the market, and you could sell it. Now it's like you got to work, right? You got to price it correctly. You got to, take certain type of photos. You really got to push the product. Now, again, also depending on the price. Like I've noticed if you price it low enough, then you get a bunch of offers. So it's a case-by-case basis. But all I'm trying to say is that 60 days ago, it was a whole different market. Now, it's almost like they're putting the brakes on it. And if this continues, the good news for me is that a lot of the real estate agents that got their license, they're going to be walking out this door.
Yeah.
So that's the good news. The bad news is I feel like I'm working even harder just to earn the same amount of money from last year. So it's like you got to buckle up and you got to get the grind going on. But that's what I like about Vegas, though. It moves on a consistent basis. It's like 1 minute, you're like, okay, things are going good. Next minute, you got to shift and adapt. You're constantly pivoting and profiting, right? So I guess the question here I have for you is if you are a buyer, right, renting right now, and you're not too sure if I should buy because you don't know what's going on with the market, but obviously you're paying for rent, what do you do? Do you continue renting and wait till rents constantly go up? Because rents are always going to go up right now, all right? Believe it or not, I've got rental properties. I'm forcing all the rents to go up. As soon as the lease comes due, I'm raising a couple $100. Here's the thing. Reason why I'm doing this is because I've got expenses too. Property taxes have gone up. I'm not going to absorb that, right? It's like a trickle effect. And that's another thing that people are not aware of. Wait till home pricing keeps climbing and the property taxes get adjusted, right? That's going to dip into your pockets, take away more discretionary income. Plus, with all this other stuff going up, with all this inflation, the question is, how long is this going to last now? So, how long is this going to last? And if you're a buyer, should you, or if you're thinking about buying, should you even buy or should you wait? That's the question I have for you guys.
And I would answer that Yes, I would.
You sound like a sales guy.
I would. And I'm the least pressuring sales guy.
I know you are, actually.
But no, I mean, rent is still, you're going to pay more for like per square foot with rent than you would a mortgage, even at today's interest rates. And like we talked about, it is a case by case basis. I mean, we have a community right now. It's going to open in June, I believe. It's called the Arches.
Where's that at?
In Red Point Square, just just west of Highline. They're going to be 3,800 to 4,000 square foot single stories.
Oh, that's going to be some huge. That's got to be over $1 million.
Yeah, they're going to be like, we don't know for sure yet, but mid 1.5 to 1.8. And,
those are going to be.
And I have like just myself, I have 5 or 6 waiting.
Really?
Just like text me every week. Can we purchase it yet? Can we purchase it yet? So it's definitely a case by case, like you said, basis. And I see the higher end of the market. I haven't seen much slowdown at all. But like you said, I would say, starter home, in that 1,500 to 2,000 square foot home, there are definitely a lot of buyers that can't qualify now with the current interest rates. But I would definitely look into, if you can get a quick move in, you might be able to qualify, because we are offering the lower interest rates on those 30, 60 day.
And typically on the $500,000 homes, right, they're roughly about 2,000 square feet and below. And the people that are actually buying those type of homes are probably the people that are making less than $60,000 a year. And based upon $60,000 a year, the whole goal is not to be house broke, right? So you always want a lower payment. But it just seems like that sector has really got pushed out of the market. It's like two different classes just got divided, just like that. You know what I'm saying? There's like no in between at this point. It's you're buying a $1.5 million home, or you're going to be struggling on a $500,000 home, because the problem is that the interest rate has gone up so high. And if you're only making $60,000 a year, you're probably only bringing home like $5,000, right? With taxes and all that stuff. And a payment, something like that, is probably like $2,800 or even more. That's like half of your income. Gas price is up, right? I mean, food and costs is up. Property taxes, I mean, all that stuff. So it seems like that sector is going to be hit a little bit harder. That's the way I feel. Would you have to agree with that, Dan, or no?
Yeah. I would say that I would agree with what Billy said. I mean, rents, they're always going to keep going up. I think the question is, are you forced to buy? Yeah. You got to put that in perspective too, because you got, if you're going to say, well, you're going to buy a house and is it a right thing to do, and rents are going to go up? Sure, absolutely. I think that it comes back to, do you look at a house as an investment? Do you look at it as being that it's something that you can say, well, we've seen it go up, now it's coming down, and everybody's like, well, why am I buying when it's softening? And now there's a question of, am I buying at the right time? Yeah. And I think they blend that question of, well, is it the right time, or do I need to, or am I forced to buy it because maybe I got a family and they're, we're going to get bought out. And I think it comes down to exactly what you said is, can people, Las Vegans, afford buying a home today that's in, let's say you have a family of 5, okay? And you don't make a lot of income. Well, you're either in the elite of, hey, you better qualify, or maybe you can qualify for that $9 to $1 million. Yeah. The way a lot of these people are qualifying is because they're taking the equity and putting large down payments and still getting that $400,000 or $500,000 loan. But as it keeps going up, or if it does keep going up, is that going to become a problem? So you're seeing a bigger separation, and I think that's the question. Is it right to go and look for a house and get into a home? Sure. And I think that if you have the ability to do it, I would do it, because rents are going to go up. But some people can't afford it, and they can't afford life right now. Yeah. And you got all these things being forced up. So now you're in that middle category and going, shoot, should I buy? But then I'm like married to this higher mortgage with this higher price point and these higher rates. Yeah. Or should I, just rent and see what's going to happen? And I think that's the big question. Yeah. Am I buying at the wrong time? The rates have they peaked? And can I really afford it? And am I in that category? If you're in a category where you can buy $1 million home and you can throw down a bunch of cash and you're making $300,000 or $400,000 a year, sure, you got options. But if you're that average family out there, Las Vegas family that is out there, that's a big decision.
No, I think that's a good point, and I think we hit it dead on the nail. It's that threshold, and that sector is going to be devastated, and that's what I'm seeing right now.
It's a gap. It's becoming a bigger gap.
You know, it is. And like I said, it's you're rich or you're going to be broke poor. And that's just the bottom line. And the ones that are broke poor, what's going to happen now is you're really forced to rent. And at the end of the day, you have no choice.
I just hope that it softens enough where that market comes back.
So you would have to have a housing crash, basically.
Well, we would have to have a recession.
Yeah.
Okay. I wouldn't say a crash, but we would have to have a recession. Not a big recession, just, GDP has to come down, and you're going to have to see a decline in things. And I think that everything kind of resets, but it's not, we're just going to crash and everybody's done.
Even though that we had a recession, home pricing is not going to drop that much, and here's why. Because I'm going to say probably about 75% of the mortgages now are all like at 3 point something. Do you think you're going to give that up? No.
Well, you would if you had to. Like if you have a family of 6 and you're living in a 3-bedroom home, would you give that up? Probably, right? You need the room. You're forced.
No, I'm talking about if there was a recession, things started to slow down. A lot of Americans that are financing their home today, right? Everybody refinance at like 3.2. Nobody's going to give that up. So they're not moving out.
Well, refinance different. But I'm saying the only reasons people give up a rate like that is because they either need to downsize or upsize, mostly upsize.
Well,
they've outgrown that house.
When a recession hits,
I think
right?
You're saying if they won't
when
walk
you
away.
have a recession, they're not going to walk away from a 3.2% interest rate. And a lot of homeowners now has already gone through that cycle of refinancing months and months and years ago. So a lot of the homes around the United States, they already have a low interest rate. So what I'm saying is, when we start to taper off and come that crash landing, people are not going to just uproot and start selling their home. People are going to retract and say, you know what? I have a payment of $900 a month. I'm not going anywhere.
Well, what comes with recession?
So exactly. So what happens there is homes are not going to be selling. You're still going to have less homes, less inventory, right? Then what happens is, at that point, people still need to rent a home. So I'm saying that I don't see this thing dropping like 50%. I don't really see it dropping 40%.
No.
Because of inflation. Do you see what I'm saying?
What were you going to say, Billy?
Oh, no, I was just saying.
You saying that you wasn't paying attention.
No, look, because look.
That I just agree that, like, there's many out there, including myself. I refied 18 months ago. Mm-hmm. If I tried to rent a home even half the size of my current home, the rent's going to be
Thank you.
Well, even if we went through a recession, we've gained so much equity, though.
Yeah.
Right? And your family's in need. It's probably a case by case, but if your family needs to move. But let's go back to what I was saying is that if you look at the equity in the properties of homes right now, it's giving people options that they can put down large payments, get into houses that maybe they probably couldn't get into the last few years because they're equity rich. And so, again, it's case by case. But if you're saying we're going to go through a recession and are people going to just, no, probably not. But what comes with recession? People typically get laid off.
Yes.
They lose their job. Right, the economy slows, and so
Yeah.
Why would anybody move anyways?
Well, exactly. Exactly.
So,
because if you have a $900 payment, the first thing that they're not going to make a late payment on is the house, car, and food. Anything else, they don't care, right?
And bullets.
Well, I guess so. But you understand what I'm saying here, right? So it's just a weird dynamic of what is going on.
Yeah.
Like you don't really know what's going to happen, right? The question is, do I buy or do I just continue renting, right? Because even though you rents are always going to go up because you have inflation. Now, the other thing is that it was very surprising to me. I looked at the housing index, the stock market index, and it does go up and down, right? Every 10, 15 years, right? Massive recession, just crashes, but it goes back up. But if you look at the index, the charts, right? On the stocks, the housing, whatever it is, it consistently still goes up, even though it goes up and down when you have these recessions. If you look at the whole lifespan of these index, right?
Yeah, but is it because they're putting more dollars in circulation?
That's my point. That's what I'm trying to get to.
It's not really legit because all you're doing is pumping in more money, and it creates these recessions, and then it recovers, and then it does it all over again.
So basically, as it goes up and down with these recessions, but if you look at the whole index, you notice it always goes up because they're constantly printing more money. But also what that tells you, and this is fascinating, that your money that you spend today, you're losing value on your money, right? I just did an episode on this where if you had $1 million in the bank, core CPI at 8%, was probably higher than that. Basically, you just lost about, $80,000, right? $1 million in the bank. You're losing your purchasing power. So I want you to think about this. If you bought a home today at $500,000, all right? You bought it today, you did the financing. 10 years from now, you have more high inflation, right? Obviously, with high inflation, what happens is everything costs more. However, you get paid more money, so you're able to pay down your home a lot faster with more money. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Because you're earning more money, but then the home that you bought, you can pay it down faster. It's kind of hard to grasp that, but that's just how it works.
So, like, Billy, what do you think about just the market from a builder's perspective? Do they feel confident about the market? Like, are they slowing down? Like, where, because builders know that more supply on the market means that usually it's not good for you guys. You guys like a market where it's less homes on the market because you can kind of dictate and control what's happening, right? Yeah. You get 6 months or more supply of homes on the market, guess what? Now all of a sudden people have choices. And so now you got to offer everything. Is that going to come a market where you're going to have to keep offering more and more things? What do you think?
Yeah. I mean, I think, our builder, thinks that the market may be getting close to like the tip, the max that we'll see. However, there's many, like here in Vegas locally. I mean, national level, it might be a little different, but Vegas, they're feeling very strong. Like they're 2,000. Right now, we closed like 2,200 homes last year.
Yeah.
They're planning to close 3,000 in the year 2024. So they're still amping up, buying up, gobbling up land right now that they're going to build on next year.
How does that work? How do they gobble land?
Geez, I wish I knew. I'd be in a...
I mean, I heard that it went through an auction. I mean, is that actually true?
Yeah. There's a...
Bureau of Land Management?
Yep. Yeah, they actually just picked up a piece through the auction. It was like 75 acres out by... or there by like Mount Charleston.
And I was just going to say, is builders bidding against each other? Or is it just like, hey, we're going to go in and we're just going all, like I'm just kind of, you don't have to go too deep on it. But
I don't know a lot about how their bid is submitted. Right. I don't think it's a normal auction that you think of where they're like all there.
They would just probably send out the letter to whoever the owner is and say, look, we'll give you friggin' $500 million for
just say this, write your number on this and we'll let you know if it's good.
Exactly.
It's good.
What else? What else is going on? This crazy ass market.
Nothing. Just I think everybody's struggling to kind of find their path,
Yeah, I know. I'm even having a hard time.
Yeah.
With buyers. I'm like, where's all the buyers at? Buyers are gone.
Well, the buyers are there. I think it's just the buyers.
No, people want to buy. Look, just because you're approved doesn't mean you're a buyer. All right. That's just the bottom line.
Explain that.
Well, because there's a lot of people that have approved. I have like 140 something approvals. Not everybody's buying. That's one stage. Hey, I want to buy. But realistically, what happens is you find out that you can't get what you want. Now you're not buying, right? Matter of fact, I just had this call today where there was a buyer sent on over to you. I said, hey, go get approved first so that we can figure out where we're at, because they were at a new homes track the other day. And I think they were looking at like a $500,000 condo or townhome or something like that on the Southwest. And I said, look, before you even go out there and you start looking, you probably need to speak to a lender because you need to find out where you stand, right? Because you're just looking just to look. Because then when you're serious and you do find something, number one, it's too late because that property's gone. Number two is that it comes down to you may not be able to afford it. So I had them contact Dan. They literally called me today and said, hey, look, we wanted a lower payment, and that brought us down to about $300,000, and we're looking, there's nothing exists at $300,000. I told you, right? Unless you're willing to settle. But now they're pondering back and forth like, my lease is up in a couple months. I'm just going to continue to rent. I said, how much is your lease? $1,500. I said, you probably need to go back and renegotiate that lease because be prepared. That lease is probably going to go up because of inflation, right? So it's how much more are you going to pay? And also, are you willing to settle instead of buying a house, right? Maybe get a condo or a townhome. Or you may have to pay the price. And if you really want to be a homeowner, then you're going to have to just pay for it. I mean, these are just new times. We can't be stuck on in the past. It is what it is.
Well, I'm going to say something. So there's a lot of things with taxes, property taxes that have caps, right? Rental, in the rental sector, and renting homes, you don't have caps here in Nevada. They're talking about getting caps on how much you can raise rents. Well, the rental market typically follows the housing market and what it does for the most part. We've softened. Do you feel like the rental market is going to soften and people are going to just stay put because of maybe rising, gas prices, things? I know people need places to live, but will the rents come down a bit because it's following the housing market with the softening and lowering prices?
Well, let me correct you here because I am a landlord myself. With rents, you can raise rents to whatever you want.
You can. However, but is there going to be a cap, is what I'm saying. They're trying to say, is there going to be a cap of, now they're going to pass a law like taxes, property taxes, that they're going to put a cap on how much you can raise here?
Like I was saying that I'm a landlord myself. Every year, according to the Department of Housing, they send you a card that you need to fill out based upon your dwelling, how many bedrooms, how many bathrooms, square footage, right? Within that area, that district, how much is the rent? If the rent is more than what's on that card, then they can tax you up to 6%. If it's below, it's only 3%. So here's the tactic. If you're a landlord out here, here's a quick tip. If yours is above HUD, right, which is they're regulating you, what you can charge, all you got to do is charge a little bit more to cover that 7%. But then also, is it worth it, right? Because you may be a little bit too high to the point where you can't rent it out. But yes, believe it or not, HUD already regulates it. So there's really nothing that you can do, right?
But what if they lower those margins is what I'm saying.
I don't think they would be able to lower
That's
the
what
margins.
I'm insinuating.
Because if they can lower the margins all they want, then we would just charge more to subsidize, right, that tax bracket. All right, you want to charge me 7% more? I'm just going to charge 7% more. All right, I'm going to pass it over to the consumer. So they're not punishing the landlord, right, or the homeowner. What they're doing is they're punishing the people that are actually renting it.
Yeah, but I think what I'm trying to say is
that's how they're going to collect more taxes.
Control. And I understand there's give and take. Like, you're a landlord, you pass it.
The market controls.
It does.
The price.
But you know that in this market, there's been landlords, other than nobody in this room, but have exceeded people to numbers that probably they are pushing it a little bit.
Kind of like you?
Pushing the envelope, right?
So
let me explain. So if you're pushing the envelope, right?
Yeah.
A little bit, what Nevada is saying is they're trying to put this into legislation that you can only charge so much, and I know you say there's a cap, and I think that's what I was trying to insinuate is because of this problem we've seen with some other landlords that
I don't think that's gonna fly, dude. You know how many people would be in uproar with that? That's like government telling you what to do. Now you're gonna tell me what to do with my property? I mean, you're basically already telling me what to do, but
I
how
got the
far
ballot,
go?
so I just want to see if you'll sign it. I'm just
I don't think that's going to happen, dude. It's not going to fly.
Chuck, I brought it in here for you to sign. You're not going to sign it, bro? Come on, man. Just sign on the dotted line. I'll take it away.
But yeah, taxes, man. Be prepared. Property taxes will be going up. I guarantee it. Government wants their money. State wants their money. So you're going to be taxed regardless. But I mean, our property taxes seems to be fairly reasonable, right?
Yeah. No, our property taxes are very...
Especially compared to other states.
Yeah. Do you guys have properties out in Tule Springs? I think we did one in Tule Springs, didn't we?
We do, yeah.
Condo, I think it was. Townhome?
Yeah, we have townhomes and single family over there.
Yeah, you guys are pretty much all over the place, right?
Yeah.
How many communities you guys are offering right now?
Right at about 40.
40 communities? Oh, what are the incentives?
The incentives?
A new Tesla. What else? I'm just
There's actually there is a builder that we talked to that giving out new Tesla. I was like, damn, you giving out new Teslas?
Just the basic model.
That community I was mentioning earlier, the Arches.
Yeah.
It's going to be our first community that, as an included feature, will be a solar
really?
home. Yeah.
That's pretty dope. And that's the what, about 4,000 square feet?
Yeah, 3,800 to 4,000 single stories.
Let me ask you this: if I'm going to buy a $1.5 million home from Lennar, $2 million home, I don't want my home looking like everybody else's, because that's how Lennar, that's how they target their audience, right? Because a lot of these buyers don't have a visual of how to customize their home, and they can't see what it looks like. But Lennar, they're really good at what you see is what you get, basically. About 95% of the home when you walk inside, minus the furniture, right? But when you're doing a $2 million home, is Lennar going to have a little bit more customization to it?
Yeah, they'll offer a few additional options that we normally wouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
Also, a few more included features that are normally like considered either an upgrade, or we might not even offer them at other communities.
Okay. And
like shower surrounds and waterfall edges. And
when is this community going to be released?
We don't know for sure. It's going to be June, but that's the latest. Is mid to end of June it'll open up.
Is this the only information that you have on this community right now?
We do have like renderings for like the floor plans. And
is that all online right now? Say no.
I don't think so.
Good. So if you guys want more information about this property, contact me directly. I'm going to hook you guys up with Billy. And I always tell you guys this: if you guys ever buy a brand new home, you want to be the first to buy in on a track. So that way you can ride that equity wave up. And also, don't forget to use me as your real estate agent. And maybe Dan as a lender. Maybe.
If it's not a quick move.
Yeah.
Right?
Now, I do want to disclose, we have done a couple deals together where I represent the buyer. Billy represents the seller. However, I have a relationship with Billy to the point where I'm constantly beating him up. He already knows when I go in, I'm constantly asking for everything. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Does he ask you to have like hors d'oeuvres and things?
No, it's beyond that.
Is it like Chakits is coming? We got to get up. Like, I mean,
it's funny. I'm like,
just get him some in and out, man.
I always say, hey, ask for closing costs, pay for this, pay for that. He's like, dude, I can't. Just get your ass in there and ask for that shit.
Billy, throw your keys to your car on the table. Come on, man.
I'm literally always beating up Billy, but you know what? That's what it's all about. It's about building that rapport, right? And he's going to go up for bat for me because he wants a deal, and he knows that I bring him a lot of business, right? Yeah. And basically, we work with Dan because we know we can get the deal done as well.
You roll out that red carpet.
Mm-hmm.
He
doesn't like it, trust me.
No.
I'm like, yo, I got to buy it. I'm like, ask for this, ask for this.
He's like, all right, what is it, man? What is it?
So we got a couple questions here. All right. So let's see here. Let me. This is the best time to save, to invest once the foreclosure starts. I don't think there's going to be no foreclosures coming.
First off, if you're saving, you're just losing your money.
Thank you. 8%. And here's the thing.
You got to put it in somewhere.
That's the problem I'm having right now. But now I literally did a whole video. It's about to be released in the next 3 weeks, right? It's about my real estate portfolio. Where should I actually start selling? But I'm not going to tell you if I'm going to sell it or continue renting it out. But stay tuned for that video. But I literally break it down between me selling it, paying the taxes, what my return is, why would I be doing that, and what I could do with that money to leverage up, to scale up. Or here are my returns right now as I raise the rents. Should I continue to raise the rents for the rest of my life?
Well,
hold on to the property.
So people are different. Like, if you're saving, it's not bad to save. I'm just saying.
Well, you're going to need to save for a down payment.
Well, anything. But it's like this. So if you have money and you don't know what to do with it, that's a different story. If you're saving your money, look, inflation's going up rampant. Printing money, if you want to call it printing, it's really just adding digital currency, is going rampant. The dollar is not valued the same as far as what you can purchase it for, right? So what I'm saying is saving's not bad. But if you have an idea, put it into something that you can at least store it. That's why all the investors are buying investment properties. It's not necessarily.
Yes, baby. Thank you very much for Salas, which is your client. It says, thanks to Nikki. She was absolutely best. Thanks to Dan and his team. appreciate everything. So this is a deal that you guys just closed with one of our clients. So thank you for the $19.99.
Hey, he's a good dude.
Is he?
Real good guy.
Well,
so really, really laid back. He kind of went with the flow. He made it happen.
I would prefer $199.
Man,
York, you got some food money, York.
Tell him to take that back, man.
Take it back. Oh.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell you why.
Why?
Because, man, he did that generously.
Yes, he did.
And so we got to appreciate everybody.
That's right.
Even if it's $9.99 or it's 99 cents, we gotta dude. If somebody shot me over 99 cents, I'm gonna be a happy guy. You know why? Because I didn't do anything for that money. What is that?
99 cents.
That's a cent. Hey, but I'm happy.
There you go.
You know,
Smile.
It's the thought that counts.
Exactly.
And you can't go over that.
Now, rate hikes are good to stop the printing of money and inflation. That's actually true. Okay. Now, the problem is that you already have the money in the money supply. So you can slow it down, but it's already in the supply line. So that's why I think we're going into stagflation. And what's crazy is we keep printing money. Like we keep
talking about that, but the unemployment has to start to
technically. Well, that's what they say for stagflation. For me, for stagflation, the definition is this: things are constantly on the rise, but nothing is really moving. And I feel like it's starting to go that direction.
Well, it's already that direction. The point, though, is the confidence that people have is not completely gone, and people are still working. Not only that, you have a lot more, I think it's like...
No, people are spending money because they got to put their money somewhere.
Well, but we have the highest employment percentage, I think. I can't remember the last time it was this high. So you got to think that people are working, and now if we start to see a huge amount of people, we go to a recession, we start to see laid off. Yeah, I agree with that. But I don't know. For me, I just feel that we're not there yet. Mm-hmm. I think we're close, but we're not there yet.
Somebody says buy some XRP. Are you into crypto?
Me?
Yeah. You know anything about that?
No, not a whole lot. My wife knows a lot about crypto.
Oh, okay. So she's an investor in crypto?
Yeah, she's invested in a couple of them.
Oh, isn't it down?
I would just say this, man. Everybody out there, buy into Luna.
Okay. All right. You just like literally lost everybody's money, bro.
I just say.
Somebody says I'm living in the bargain basement. Homes will dry up after the market crash this year. Okay. How cheap will it be and when will it happen? Does anybody know?
Who says it is going to happen?
Exactly. How do you know if you're already in it? The problem is that, again, man, we printed so much money.
Here's what it is, man. Everybody saw this happen in 2007, 8, and 6, 7, and 8. They feel that this is going to happen again. Mm-hmm. Do I feel like we're in a bubble where we've peaked? Yes. Obviously, you see the market softening.
But you can't time the market, though.
But that doesn't mean that it's going to be foreclosures and things are going to collapse and the world's going to come to an end and, people are going to start from ground zero again. It just means that we're going through a hiccup. Unfortunately, with the systems that we have in place, this is not going to, it's not going to stop. It's just going to probably, and Las Vegas, like maybe in other pockets in the country, you'll see it. Las Vegas, you're not going to see it because the desirability of being in Las Vegas and people to come here for the cheaper cost of living is going to continue in the next few years.
Somebody was just talking about like how the home pricing out here in Las Vegas is moving so fast. Like if you go out to North Las Vegas, because it's cheaper out there, that is booming quickly. Just think about this. Remember we talked about the 500, 600 range where it's kind of like they're almost getting priced. So they're probably going out there and they're just buying.
Yeah, you can still find single family homes out there from the mid 4s.
That's just crazy. I mean, well, it's not going to be like a brand new home for $400,000.
We're in about $465, $475 in that
for a house or a townhome.
For an 1,800 square foot single family.
Damn, that's still pretty good actually.
Yeah.
But the question is, are you willing to make that sacrifice for the $450 out in the north side of town, right? Knowing that the value is not as great as like Summerlin, Southwest, Northwest, right?
Or like you were saying earlier, you may have to. Some people might consider it a sacrifice to, maybe
you don't have a
go
choice.
For a townhome.
Yeah,
we do have 4-bedroom townhomes for, just under 400 as well, that are up. That's actually a community that's a new one coming as well, Centennial Heights, up by Ann and the 215.
Oh, there was a good one here. I don't know where it went. Just got skipped about just buying a home here.
Did you know you had a double-headed penny over here?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, double-headed. You remember that?
Keep that one.
He just gave me all of his luck. Now I'm going to take his fortune.
Hey, now it's like worth like $1 million. Let's see what else we have here. I'm trying to read some good comments, but everybody's just making all kind of comments, but it's not like a good question. Do you guys have anything you guys want to talk about before we get off this podcast?
No.
That's it?
I mean, we've already kind of laid it all out, you know?
I mean, we covered everything.
Pretty much. I mean, I don't got anything else to say.
Yeah. The only thing I would say, I guess, is it's still a great time if you
want
to upgrade your home.
How about this? Do you guys think the Oakland A's are going to move here?
Oh, that's what I hear.
Yeah, I know. Where are they going? Over there by Trop in Las Vegas, right?
Yeah, they're taking out the Trop Casino.
Man, that congestion of that traffic would be crazy. It's like, what do you do?
I think that's but I think
it's going to be kind of cool, though.
Yeah, you got only 8 games on the football.
NBA would be next if that happens.
Is Sunstone Is Sunstone and Sky Canyon considered North Las Vegas?
They are not.
No, Northwest Las Vegas.
Yep.
Anything that's east of Decatur will be North Las Vegas.
Yep.
Chakits, do you think they will do anything about student loans? Oh, we talked about that. Weren't they forgiving student loan debts because of the DTI? Weren't they talking about that? The government forgiving the student loan debts?
I think it was in the works, but the people that are, if you have to get into a loan moving forward, those are going up. The interest is going up on those.
Well, let me just reread this. This says, Chakits, you think that the government will do anything about the student loans as it counts towards the debt-to-income ratio for home qualification? I heard that they would do something similar with medical bills. Is that true?
That's so medical bills on an FHA loan are not really counted. I mean, unless
for your debt-to-income ratio?
Well, it's just overlooked as far as it being like it's not a liability where they say you have to pay it off. If it's a high amount, they might question it and say, what's going on. You look at the student loans; they're not going to be going away unless the government comes in and just wipes them out. Then it won't show up on your credit altogether.
Okay.
If it shows up in your credit, we got to still hit it as a liability.
Oh crap, Billy, water in Las Vegas. Are we running out?
We're definitely getting lower, but we're not running out.
You'll be just fine.
I think I've lived here my whole life. And I've heard it since I was 5 years old.
Have you ever seen Lake Mead this bad though?
No.
No.
What's crazy?
That's the question, because I'm saying,
it's always going to go bad,
but this bad.
Well, obviously it's going to get worse and worse because it's going down. It's not like it's going up.
I mean, we're finding bodies and stuff, man. I mean, what else are you going to find in there?
Somebody says right now invest in food, water, and security, guns and bullets. Somebody's like, a laugh out loud to the answer. Wow. All right. I mean, I guess that's pretty much it. I think we kind of covered everything, didn't we?
Yeah, I think so.
So what I'm going to do is I'll have Billy's link in the description below with your full contact information. Billy, thank you so much for coming out here. I do appreciate it. And
thanks for having me.
What we're going to do is maybe we can get a list of that new community. Maybe you can email me some information on that. So if you guys are interested, what I can do is connect you to Billy, and I'll send you guys the email, and we'll get everything going. Other than that, guys, I really do appreciate each and every one of you guys from the bottom of my heart. If you guys haven't had a chance to subscribe to this channel, go ahead and click that subscribe button. Until next week, Wednesday, at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Other than that, I'm out.